should we be given the opportunity to lead the Congress again beginning in 2011, not only will we take the Congress in a different direction from the standpoint of public policy, but we'll be running things differently than they've been run since early 2007, and even differently than they were run when the Republicans were last in charge.
Congressman, Chairman Steele will be speaking. How do you feel about
what time do you know?
I think about 3:30.
Okay.
How do you feel about him and his leadership of the party right now?
Let me say I like Michael Steele. He is a man with an inspiring personal story. Growing up in hardship, in a single-parent home, to rising to a level of being the second-ranking official in the state of Maryland. I think he's an inspiring person, and I like him personally. I think he is personally a great voice for conservative and Republican values. But obviously there have been serious errors that have taken place within the administration of the Republican National Committee. And I am hopeful that as chairman, Michael Steele will continue to address those seriously and consistently. We need to have, in a year when Republicans and conservatives had such a profound opportunity to take back this Congress and to really turn this country back in the direction of fiscal discipline and values. We need to put these administrative errors and flaws behind us as quickly as possible, and it's my hope that Michael Steele's doing just that.
His job seems safe to you.
I have. I would leave that to the members of the Republican National Committee, but I heard no discussion about a change. Again, I like Michael Steele personally. I think he is personally a wonderful voice for conservative values in this country. But as an administrator of the Republican National Committee, he's made some mistakes, and I am hopeful that he will continue to aggressively address those administrative errors and put the Republican National Committee back on a pathway to assist our candidates around the country toward a victory in 2010.
Excuse me, guys, if you guys could just announce what media outlet you're with.
I'm Dave Weigel with the Washington Post.
Yeah, Dave.
You were on CNN on the Sunday of the health care vote, and you were asked about the reports that John Lewis and 2 other members of Congress had racial slurs rolled with him.
Yeah.
You were careful to say if that happened, I condemn it.
Yeah.
But in the week since then, a lot of people in environmental want to question whether that actually happened. I guess I want to know if you know anything more about that incident, how it happened, and if you have any comment on the way the media covered that incident. Force the question on you.
Well, let me say, a couple of weeks before the alleged incident occurred, I was walking across the bridge in Selma, Alabama, next to John Lewis. I think the advances that we've made in this country on civil rights, advances that he bore great physical hardship to advance, are among the great accomplishments of the American people in the 20th century. So I take at face value what John Lewis said. John Lewis said he heard it. I believe he's a man of integrity, and I would denounce those types of statements in the strongest possible terms. They have no place in the public debate on the left or the right. When I was denounced walking to foreign affairs committees by people wearing code pink uniforms during the days of 2006 over the Iraq War, I didn't think those were appropriate. But racial slurs and epithets have no place in public debate, and I denounce them in the strongest possible terms.
But just quickly, the way it was covered, simply criticized the word of the fellow congressman being taken for a news story, while 8 more videos are not enough to get that headline. That's immediately something that's the subject of running down the discussion for a couple of days. Whether they say it or not, fair.
Well, I wouldn't want to comment on the media coverage. I take John Lewis at his word. I believe he's a man of integrity, and John Lewis says he heard it. I accept that. But I will tell you, without qualification, racial epithets or threats have no place in the American public debates. Republicans denounce them in the strongest possible terms.
Last question.
Ed
Morrissey, of course. And there's been a lot of talk about repealing and replacing.
Yeah, you'll hear more tomorrow.
I'm sure that we will. There have also been some voices in the Republican Party that said, look, we need to make sure that we're not over-promising what we can do in 2011. Can you tell us how you see, assuming that Republicans win control of Congress, how you see the repeal and replacing reform effort going in Congress? What can you do and what can't you do in 2011?
Well, let me just say that House Republicans will not rest until we repeal Obamacare, lock, stock, and barrel. Now, that will likely be a two-step process. We first have to repeal the Pelosi Congress in 2010, then replace the Obama administration in 2012. The American people want nothing to do with this government and take over health care. I was asked in the hallway by another journalist if this government takeover of health care was an issue outside the base. And I said, I've been traveling around Indiana, and traveled a little around the country the last 2 weeks, and it must be a pretty big base out there. Because I'm meeting with Republicans, Democrats, Independents. The overwhelming majority of the people don't want a government takeover of health care, and Republicans are determined to do everything in our power to stop the implementation of Obamacare and repeal and replace this legislation with the kind of reforms that will focus on lowering the cost of health insurance without growing the size of government.
Thank you.
I'm sorry.
Thanks, Scott.
Thank you.
Thanks, everybody.